Welcome back to Real House DIY. Working on our bathroom project. First thing we're going to do is some demo. Going to remove the tile and the bathtub. First, we're going to take off some of these plumbing fixtures. And first thing, looks like a previous owner, they put a zip tie right here. And cut that off. And really all it did was help prevent this plate from sliding forward, even though it looks like they used some silicone and it's really glued down on the tile there. Take off the shower head. I'll try to get this plate off as well. Next, get this top spout out. We use a strap wrench. Sometimes these are on really tight. Next, just the screwdriver. Take off this plate for the drain stop. As you can see, at least for as long as I've lived in this house, that drain stopper never worked. We always used a cork to stop the drain if we needed to use the bath. Now the last part of the drain that's on the bottom of the bathtub, I'll remove that later when I'm about to take the bathtub out. But since I'm removing tile first, I'm going to finish taking off this piece here. This is mowing. Right under here you need a hex wrench. This one uses a 764 hex wrench. And Phillips screwdriver. And finally need flathead screwdriver to get this plate off. Again, it's probably some silicone behind this I need to cut off. Not too bad. It's actually maybe just that gasket. Next, I'm going to start pulling some tile down. The reason to start with a tile is on most bathtubs, there's actually a lip that comes up here. So the tile goes over that, so water will run down and not have a chance to get behind the bathtub. So I'd probably have trouble getting the bathtub out if I tried to do that first. Take down the tile and see what I'm working with from there. Now we're ready to start the demo. I have my safety glasses. I may also go get a pair of gloves. I'm going to try to cut along the ceiling, leave the ceiling in place, and just be replacing the walls and a new wall tile. I almost forgot, don't want too much junk going down the drain here. Just going to cover that up with a stopper. You can see why I'm being careful. I have a vent pipe here, didn't know it was there. If I was using a power tool, it'd be very easy to cut that. You'll notice on some of these videos, I decided to switch to a time lapse so there's no audio. So top here, this is all drywall. Then get down here, actually I have metal lathe and mortar. The tiles adhered to that. Some of these tiles that were broken here started popping off towards my face. I'm going to switch to using this face shield. This metal lathe, it's really difficult to work with. Definitely helps break the tile off first, and then you can cut through the metal lathe. It started getting dusty, so I got a respirator. However, I also turned the bathroom fan on. That really helps clear the dust. After you break all the tile off the metal lathe, you'll find the metal lathe. It's very flexible, but it also is secured to the 2x4s. So just finish this one side. Use this Lathe material with cement to apply the tiles to. And go ahead and finish the other two walls. and then we can work on the bathtub. This metal lathe, it's in really long pieces. You'll find it's really difficult to take off as one large piece, so you will want to cut through it, take small pieces off at a time. Here you'll see me occasionally hacking through it with the crowbar. You'll also notice here that each corner is reinforced with additional metal lathe. That's that long strip that you see in the corner. You want to work carefully. That metal lathe is really sharp. At the same time, you don't really want to wear long sleeves for this type of work. The bathtub is completely full at this point, so I'm standing up on top of all the debris. Definitely don't need the step ladder anymore. I just finished taking all the tile down. Took about 2 hours with a few breaks. Managed to not damage the ceiling at all. Then I'm left with a huge bathtub full of debris. I gotta bag all this up and take it outside. Now I'll get to work on the bathtub. Filling small bags is best since this stuff gets heavy. However, you want to make sure the bags are strong enough. I just finished cleaning out all the tile, with the exception of any that fell down between the wall there. I'll have to get that after the bathtub is out. Here's all the debris. Filled it up in paper bags, about 18 paper bags full. Then the metal lathe, I bundled that up in smaller pieces, carried out separately. Next I'm going to cut out the cast iron bathtub. I'm going to use an angle grinder with a metal cutting disc. I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. These pieces in the middle, I'll angle them such that it'll be easy to get those out first, and I can get the end pieces out after. Some of that porcelain coating was hitting my arms while I was grinding, so I went and got a sweatshirt. Finished that first cut, not too bad. Used up entire disc. I'm gonna have to break it in a few spots. One spot in the back here that I couldn't reach, each of the 2 corners, and down there at the floor. I just finished my cuts. Made 2 cuts there and there. Bit of an angle so I can get the middle out first. I made a cut across the middle piece as well. Definitely have to break it down at the bottom where the angle grinder couldn't reach. Made a fine layer of dust over everything here. Here I decide to use a C-clamp. It makes a really nice handle for lifting the cast iron. Otherwise, 2 people can lift these very easily. Turns out this next piece wasn't going down too far, and the back is actually just resting on this 2x4, so that was a little bit easier to take out. So now I'm just down to this last piece, and you'll recall I put a plug in the drain there. We still need to take that drain piece off. So if I take the plug out, I don't have the special tool. It needs to grip on to these edges here. You can see there's one here, there's one on the other side as well. You can use pretty much anything that can grip and turn that. I just finished all the cleanup. I vacuumed, hand cleaned every surface, so we have a clean bathroom. Can still use this as a half bath. One thing didn't make it, this plastic toilet seat. Got all marred from the vacuum. I should have hand cleaned the dust off of that. Obviously have some old water damage here. Now over on the left side of the tub, I didn't notice this at first. There is a sink on the other side of this wall, and they put these extensions on the pipes here. I'm not sure if that was originally intended to be some type of water hammer, or if they planned to put some type of shower head over on this side of the tub. But you really can't do this anymore per most codes. This is called a dead leg. Basically what happens, this will eventually fill up with water, and that water will just stagnate there and will grow bacteria. So these will have to be fixed. I'll just replace them with a 90-degree fitting right here. So it's one day later. I let the dust settle again overnight. There was very little additional dust to clean up, so not too bad. Now I'm at the point I can get the measurements and start ordering materials. And if I did it all over again, I'd probably use a sledgehammer to break up that cast iron bathtub instead of using the angle grinder. Using the angle grinder brought up a lot of that black cast iron dust, stained some of my clothes, and I had to throw them away. And the cast iron dust is an abrasive, so you saw it earlier on that toilet lid. When I tried to vacuum it, it scratched into the surface. I should have just wiped it off. As far as all the other surfaces, doors, walls, floor, porcelain, everything else cleaned up just fine without any damage. If you have any questions at all, get those in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.